Hello everyone, we will continue our discussion with dynamic memory allocation. So as we had seen in arrays, we had to define the maximum size like int arr 100 or something before while declaring the array. So now we will see dynamic memory allocation where we can take that size of the maximum size of the array as input. So the function used for dynamic memory allocation is malloc. So it allocates the desired block of memory for that particular array, and when we use it, and returns the pointer to the first cell of that memory block which has been allocated. So here we see how to allocate a 1D integer type array. So int star p is actually the array. Actually, it is an integer type pointer referring to an array. N is the maximum size of the array, and we first take in n, which is the maximum size of the array, as input, and then this is the main step for dynamic memory allocation. We initialize the pointer p to the pointer returned by this malloc function, and the parameter taken in by the malloc function is the number of bytes we need to allocate for the array. So there are n cells in the array, and each cell has a size of int. So we allocate n into size of int bytes for the array, and the malloc function uh, returns the pointer, which is basically a wild pointer, just an address. So we typecast it to int star such that it is a pointer to an integer, and the first cell is returned by the malloc function and stored in p. So now p is an integer type pointer which represents the basically the whole array, and similarly we can use the array operations and take in the input normally like we do in an array. Next we have a look at 2D arrays. So 2D arrays can be visualized something like this. So there are rows and columns, and each index of the 2D array can be represented by, suppose we have declared an integer array which is two-dimensional, like 100 and 100. So each location can be depicted by these values like A00, A10, A20. So 1 represents the row number and 0 represents the column number. Next we see a program for use for multiplying two matrices. So as you can see, so first let us understand the hash define statement and the typedef command. So hash define n4. So this is a pre compiled for compilation. Wherever it finds the capital N, it just replaces it by the number 4. So this is how hash define works. And typedef basically creates an alias name for a data type. So basically typedef double scalar means that now instead of using the data type scalar, we can use the data type, instead of using the data type double, we can use the data type scalar, and there would be no difference at all. Then we typedef scalar to vector n and typedef scalar to matrix n cross n. So basically a scalar of n cross n can now be referred to as just by matrix, and scalar means double. So a two-dimensional array of double type can be referred to as a matrix after executing these statements. So this is a function to multiply two matrices x and y and store the result in z. So basically we have uh, three loops in here. The first loop just traverses along the rows, and the second loop traverses along the uh, columns of the matrix one by one. The matrices are here 4 cross 4. So suppose if hash define n was 3, so the matrices would have been 3 cross 3. So let us see how it would have been, it would have worked. So suppose this was the matrix, and this was to be multiplied by another matrix. Suppose it was also the same matrix, suppose. So what we do in matrix multiplication is basically multiply one row by the column of the second matrix. So we multiply 1 into 1 plus 2 into 4 plus 3 into 7. So first row of the first matrix and the first row of the first column of the second matrix, and we put that in the 0 0 location of the resultant matrix. So here we can see how the code works. So x of I comma j is basically the resultant of the matrix. So this we have initialized to 0.0 as this was double type, and then we then we add to that xij the value yik into zk of j. So basically y is the first matrix, z is the second matrix. So yi comma k represents the row and zk comma j represents the column, jth column. So one by one, when k moves from 0 to n, so we get all the values and the result is added and we get the resultant matrix here. Next, let us try to implement the dynamic memory allocation for allocating a 2D array. So we have tried to allocate a 2D array of strings here. So basically it would be an array of 2D array, character array, so it would be an array of strings. So let's see how we do it. So we have a character array, word, and a pointer which is w, and which is also an array. So that is basically the 2D character array we are going to malloc. So first we take in each word, and then what we have done is that we have malloced for each index of the 2D array I, means for each row of the 2D array I, w, we have malloced accordingly to the size of strl length of the word plus 1 into size of character. The 1 plus 1 is for the null character to also be stored. So each row gets allocated separately in each loop, and in the end we just copy the word we had taken as input into the wi, which is the each row of the 2D array. So finally we have w, which is basically the 2D character array we wanted to have. Thank you.